everybody, welcome back to another video of electrostatics. So in this video we are going to talk about electric fields for a dipole. So as we had discussed in the previous video about a dipole, it's a combination of two equal and opposite charges separated by a finite distance. So when we discuss about electric field for a dipole, let me give you the situation and make you understand it. So since you have two charges, one positive and other being negative, and if you are asked to find electric field, there are actually two regions where you can find out the electric field. Either you can find out the electric field anywhere in this line that joins both of the charges, anywhere in this line, right? So you can find out the electric field anywhere in this line, or you can either find the electric field anywhere above the line or below the line. So whenever we are finding out the electric field in a point anywhere in this particular line, we call that electric field as axial electric field. So that is what we are going to discuss here in the first video. After that, we are going to discuss about the field that lies anywhere above or below the line. Those kind of electric fields are known as equatorial electric fields. So let us first discuss about the axial electric field. So as you can see here, we are having two charges. This is the positive charge, this is the negative charge. They are separated by a distance twice a. We have taken it twice a for numerical calculation so as to make it a bit easier. Okay, so under the figure you can see they are separated by a distance twice a, and we are asked to find out the electric field, or we are actually going to find out the electric field at this particular point P, which lies in this particular line. So this field would be an axial field. So at this particular point, if we need to find out the total field, we need to understand about the general concepts first. There are two charges, right? So we are going to write down the expression for the two charges as E1 and E2. Okay, once we have written down the expression, we will be assigning the direction based on the signs. Once the signs are assigned, we do not need to put that minus sign when we do the magnitude. This has been previously said in our last video, so we need to understand these things very clearly. Okay, so first of all, we are going to take that point at a distance x. Now, there is one more important thing that we need to understand. When you are talking about a dipole, all the distances are measured from the center of the dipole. You cannot take this distance x randomly from this particular charge or this particular charge. It is not compulsory to do it in so, but in general cases, we consider distances from the center of the dipole. So this x distance is considered from the center of the dipole. Okay, that should be pretty clear first of all. So taking those distances, we have written down an expression for E1, which is for this particular charge, and E2 for this particular charge. So E1 would come out as k cube by a plus x. This distance is a, this is x, so it will be a plus x whole square. Similarly, E2 would come out as k cube by x minus a. X minus a, so that will be this distance, x minus a whole square. Okay, we do not need to put the minus sign. And accordingly, with the direction into consideration, we will give the direction for electric field. E1 would be in this particular direction, that is in the right hand side direction. E2, because for a negative charge, would be radially inward, so it would be in the left hand side direction. So the net electric field at this particular point would be given by how? By subtracting one from the other, because the two fields are in opposite direction to each other, right? So in order to get the net electric field at EP, which would be the axial field finally that we find out, that will be given by the bigger field minus the smaller field. Right from the expression, we can say the numerator levels for both the fields are same. Hence, looking into the denominator, E2 is actually a bigger field and E1 is a smaller field. Okay, so your net electric field will be given by E2 minus E1. Okay, so if we solve it further, taking the formula into consideration, taking k cube common, if you solve it further, you'll get the expression as such. And taking that further into account, let me show you what the final expression really looks like. So as we simplify the expression further below, we can see here the x squares, the a squares, they get cancelled off, and we come to an expression like such: kq into 4ax by x square minus a square as a whole square. Now, I have also drawn a simple figure for a dipole here to make the things a bit more understandable and clear. So since we have taken the distance to be twice a, in this particular derivation, so we have taken the distance between the two charges to be as twice a. So the dipole moment P would be given by what? The charge, that is q, into the distance. So it will come out as 2a cube. Okay. Now taking this formula into account, let me solve it further. So if I break down 2aq and 2x partially, 2aq can be replaced with a p, and the expression will come out as 2kpx by x square minus a square as a whole square. Now taking an assumption into consideration, if I consider x to be much bigger than a distance wise, then x square minus a square can be almost considered to be x square. Taking that into consideration again, the expression would turn out to be 2 kp x by x cube, cancelling one x's, it would come out to be 2 kp by x cube. Now electric field being a vector quantity, you also need to know the direction of the electric field and the sign conventions as well. So that again need to take, for that we need to take into account the figure again. So if you see in the figure, dipole moment P is always from the negative direction to the positive direction. So for a positive and a negative charges in account, the dipole moment P would be in this particular direction. Now since you have found out the net electric field by subtracting E1 from E2, hence you also come to know that E2 is a bigger field than E1. That is very much clear from the expression itself. So if E2 is bigger than E1, the net electric field that is given by E2 minus E1, which is the axial field in this case, the net electric field will be in the direction of which field? It would be in the direction of the bigger field. So it would also be in the direction of E2, and the direction of E2 in this is in this direction. So EP would also be in the same direction as that of the dipole moment. So since the direction of the net field and direction of the dipole moment are same, hence the last expression for E axial, that is 2 kp by x cube, would come with a positive sign. That is only because the dipole moment and the field, they are in the same direction. So this is the expression and the sign for an axial electric field of a dipole.